Good morning, everyone. How are you? Steve Gonzer here with Run Smart Online. I want to show you guys a cool stretch. The stretch will help you if you have tight calves or you feel like your calves are always tight or sore or achy or whatever it might be. This is going to help. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because we're getting ready to launch a program called the 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀 Project, where we help people improve their run form in a 5-week kind of boot camp scenario. So if you're interested in learning more about improving your run form or checking out what we're having coming up, it's called the 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀 Project. Go to 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝑃roject.com. There's also a link in this post, and we'll teach you how to improve your run form. So one of the things we do in the boot camp is, in the 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝗀 Project, is we add exercises and drills and trainings to help people get off their heels and find their midfoot. And if you remember if you saw yesterday's video, I talked about, and I'm just going to do a quick recap and I'll show you that calf stretch, is when someone, the typical way people run is they'll have this straight leg coming down, their toes pulled up, and they'll hit their heel first when they come down. The problem with that is if you look at the orientation of this leg, when this foot comes in contact with the ground, all that ground force is pushing backwards up against the body. So I talked about it, it's like tapping the brakes. Every time this foot comes down, it's a tap of the brakes, then you have to restart, push off again. But when you push off, the other leg has come through and tap the brakes. So, you know, that straight knee position, the toes up, the heel first, is really detrimental to running. So that's what we work on getting people away from. But when you make the transition, and you make the transition to the proper run form, this leg should swing through, and you want to get it to the point where it's not so much about your foot position, it's more about the knee position. So if you can get a vertical shin, when that foot hits the ground, it's going to cause your body to hinge immediately when you land. And when you're running, you got 3 to 5 times your body weight in 5 milliseconds ramping through your body 80 times a minute on each leg. So ideally, we'd like to maximize our shock absorption. So when we teach people to do what I'm about to show you or talk about, it's going to improve your speed because you're going to brake less, but it's also going to take some of this pressure off the knee. If you look at this, if I just compress these bones, it doesn't go anywhere because I'm going through the structural support of your bones. The transition to a midfoot causes you to, and you get this bent knee landing, it'll cause calves to get accepting of that load. So instead of the bones, right, the bones crashing into each other, you're going to get more load through your calf, your lower leg, your quad, your glutes. So a lot of times we have runners who make this transition in the 𝘁𝗶𝗀𝗀 Project, and they complain of calf soreness and glute soreness and thigh soreness, but it's muscle, right? That's super important because muscle regenerates, muscle is responsive, it provides shock absorption, it provides speed, so you want to load those muscles. So the biggest complaint we get is calf soreness. I'm going to walk you through a calf stretch we use in the program, and even if you don't join us, this is a great stretch for anyone who has tight calves. So I'll just go ahead and show you. If you do this stretch, I don't have a wall here, but so many people go up to the wall, they wedge their foot in, and then they sniff the paint. And I want to see, I want to make sure I'm in frame, but the problem with that is this is not a very dynamic stretch. You're actually wedging your foot into your shin, and we don't want that. When you're running, I'll show you this real quick. When you're running, your foot's going to hit the ground, and your shin's going to come over your foot. This is what happens when we're running, not this. And that stretch is mimicking that motion. We want this motion because that's what's happening when we're running. So this is the stretch you're going to do. Stop sniffing paint, people. You don't want to be here up against the wall. You want to do this instead. So what I like to have people do is get in a nice stride position. Make sure your pelvis is facing straight ahead. I'm going to try to keep this compact so I stay in the frame of the video. But you're going to want to anchor your heel to the ground, lock your knee, and what that'll do is it'll get you to a point where you're going to lock into your ankle. And then from here, you're just going to come forward, hold for a couple seconds, and come back off. This works really well against the wall or really anything, but you're just going to drive forward. I'm going to show you another variation in a minute, so stay with me. And you do about 20 times. The way that people like to cheat with this is they like to lift their heel or they like to let their knee bend. Keep the knee locked, keep the heel cemented to the ground, and think about what I just showed you with the skeleton. Now you're rocking your shin over your foot, but here's the thing that most people don't do, because a lot of people still do this stretch. I want to show you a cooler way to do this. Much more functional, much better for your calves. So what you do is you go through 20 of these, making sure that you're driving from the pelvis and the hips, and then we're going to make this dynamic. I like to work in what's called the frontal plane, so you're going to end up moving yourself side to side. So you're going to go here, you're going to go forward until you feel the stretch start, and then you're going to work side to side. So you're going to work right to left. It's a little bit easier at the wall, and I'm going to pardon this view. I'm going to show you from the back view. Sorry for this. but you're gonna come here and you're gonna work left to right and keeping that heel anchored on the ground. Hopefully you can hear me still. Keeping that heel anchored on the ground is going to work that calf, and it's gonna start stretching into multiple positions. So if we go back to the skeleton, when you're here and you're going from side to side, you're really working dynamically through that calf muscle. For me, I don't have really tight calves, but when I made the transition to midfoot striking, when runners do, they tend to tighten up because they're responsible for a lot more work. So the first one was a calf stretch here. The second one was a calf stretch and side to side. Those two stretches are phenomenal for anyone with tight calves or anyone who's making the transition from a bone bashing heel striker to a nice soft midfoot. So try that stretch out. If you're interested in improving your run form, go to 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀.com. Either the price is going up or the program's closing. We only put this on once a year. So check out 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀.com. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we do to help people improve their run form. So if you're interested, check it out, and I hope everyone has a phenomenal day. I don't know why that got dragged out for so long. So, all right, guys, I'm off to go skiing. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.